News Talk KVNU.
The information from the Pretty Balanced Perspective.
Online at kvnutalk.com and on the KVNU mobile app.
KVNU News Time is 5:05. Find Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by Roof Rescue. A 23-year-old Logan man has admitted to trying to meet up to have sex with an undercover police officer posing as a 13-year-old girl. Cameron Michael Ross accepted a plea deal and will wait to be sentenced next month. Ross appeared Monday afternoon in First District Court. He pleaded guilty to enticing a minor by internet or text, a second-degree felony. The charge carries a possible prison sentence of up to 15 years. As part of the plea agreement, prosecutors dropped a remaining felony charge. In September, Ross began engaging in online chats with a Logan City police officer. He also sent a sexting photo while arranging to meet at a park near his home. During the message exchange, the officer stated their age multiple times and also made references to being in middle school. Ross told the officer he wanted to have sex with her. A time and place was arranged to meet. Police were able to identify Ross as the suspect from the phone number used in the text messages and photos sent. When Ross showed up at the pre-designated spot, he texted police that he had arrived. Law enforcement surrounded him and took him into custody without incident. KVNU News Time is 5:06. KVNU weather for tonight, cloudy, low near 15. Snow tomorrow, about an inch accumulation on the valley floor. High temperature in the low 30s. But if you're driving through the mountains, driving through Sardine or Logan Canyons tomorrow, there is a winter weather advisory in effect from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the mountains. 3 to 6 inches of snow that could impact travel through the canyons on Friday. It's only been to 30 today. Right now it's 25 at KVNU. KVNU weather brought to you by U&I Furniture. Big selection. The store is full of holiday specials like TV consoles, over 50 on display, all sizes with or without fireplaces. Always a better buy at U&I, 28 West, 1st North, downtown Logan.
This is David from Roof Rescue. A roof is not something most people think about until they notice a leak on the ceiling. This time of year, fluctuation in temperatures, along with rain, snow, and ice, can do a number on your roof. If you notice these leaks, they won't go away on their own and are oftentimes a sign that the roof has reached the beginning of the end of its life. Call Roof Rescue for a free analysis, diagnosis, and estimate. Let's fix those leaks and keep you dry this winter. Call 435-999-4268 or visit roofrescueusa.com. Roof Rescue, providing watertight peace of mind.
KVNU News Time is 5:08. Overnight snow, rain, and freezing temperatures left major roadways slick with ice Wednesday night and this morning. A section of I-15 in southern Salt Lake County was shut down completely after a multi-vehicle crash that included 2 semis. The incident at milepost 288 happened at about 11:30 p.m., according to John Gleason with UDOT. One of the semis involved was hauling 2 tankers of oil, one of which overturned and spilled approximately 1,500 gallons of crude oil on the road, which hazmat crews had to work to clean up all night into this morning. And a Provo man is facing a third-degree burglary felony after he allegedly broke into the Provo City Center Temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to get out of the cold, according to a police affidavit. While nothing was reported missing from the premises, the suspect is accused of causing $4,000 in damages during the reported break-in. 33-year-old Luis Aiden Zamora Jr. was arrested Tuesday night after police say he was caught on surveillance footage using a metal tray to break a stained glass window. He then reportedly reached through the broken window and unlocked the door from the inside. The incident happened on Monday night, according to court documents. The surveillance footage was shown to other law enforcement agencies as Provo police investigators worked to identify the suspect. An officer with Utah Adult Probation and Parole was able to identify the man in the video as a probationer currently being supervised. KVNU News Time is 5:10. For more details on these and other stories, visit CacheValleyDaily.com.
Covering the news that affects your life. News Talk KVNU, 610 AM, 102.1 FM, and online at 610kvnu.com.
Merry Christmas!
From our family to yours.
December's most wonderful buy of the year at Murdoch Volkswagen.
Unwrap the best deals on every new VW.
You have to hurry.
These deals are going faster than Santa's reindeer.
Receive the gift of the Sign Then Drive event. 0 down, 0 due at signing, and 0 first month's payment.
When you walk through our doors, you feel like family.
At Murdoch Volkswagen in Logan or online at murdochvw.com.
Call 866-628-3065 or see dealer for complete details. Offer expires 1/4/23.
Want to stay healthy this holiday season? Want to make it to all those great parties? Want to just skip getting sick? Schedule a flu shot for you and your family. And while you're at it, get your COVID boosters too. Anyone age 5 and up can get one, and you're ready if it's been more than 2 months since your last dose. Keep the holidays healthy this year. Talk to a doctor or healthcare provider and visit uptodate.utah.gov to stay current on your immunizations.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. It is hour 2 of today's show, Thursday, December 8th. I'm Jason Williams, Bill Walter here in the studio as well, and I am so excited about this. We've been doing this for a year now, and it went by very quickly, but once a month, as part of, we were invited to help the Family Place celebrate their 40th anniversary, providing services throughout Cache Valley and at times northern Utah at large. And we've been honored to be a part of it. But what we've gotten to learn over the last year, everything, literally, about the Family Place, from their critical counseling services and even, they may not use the word, I would use the word sort of rescue services that can come up in certain situations, helping families and children here in the valley. We've learned about their partnerships with other organizations, nonprofits, from CAPSA to the food pantry. We've learned about their some of the fun things they do, like the Starfish Giving Machine, where you can actually go in and not only make a donation, which you can do at their website, thefamilyplaceutah.org, but also pick what your donation goes towards, from stuffed plush Labrador retrievers for kids as quasi-therapy dogs to filling the tank on the Family Place van, which they use on a daily basis for their services. They do fun fundraisers throughout the year, and also every single representative of the Family Place that we've spoken to over the last 12 months, checking with them once a month, has been fun in and of themselves. And joining us now to kind of cap all this off, and again, this isn't the last time you'll hear from the Family Place here on the show, but it is the last of our 12 months of celebrating their 40th anniversary with them. Jennifer Anderson, Associate Director of the Family Place, joining us here in the studio. And Jennifer, a pleasure. You and I, so we've spoken a lot over the last year and before that,
yes,
here and there. But this is the first time we've met in person. It's a pleasure to meet you in person.
Good to meet you too.
This really has been... So, from my personal perspective, I knew the Family Place. I live near a Family Place location, so I drive past it almost every day. And I had a general idea of some of the services. We'd done, some promotion of fundraisers before and things like that. I knew about the Starfish Giving Machine. It's one of my favorite. But I have to say, over the last year, I had no idea how... And my heart still goes out to everyone affected by the situations that give rise to this, but also those who are doing the work. I had no idea how deep into some of these things the Family Place was getting to help kids.
Yeah.
And that's been one of the most eye-opening things for me over the last year. learning. The hands-on isn't a good way to describe it. Even it's more than that. I mean, this is the family place. You build a very intimate relationship with families and children, oftentimes who are in a very coming out of a traumatic situation, maybe still in the midst of it. And I have to imagine the relationships that are built up through the work you do there, some of them have to last a lifetime.
Yes, absolutely. And we've talked about this before as well. We're not just in Cache County, but we're also in Rich and Franklin County. So that reach is even further than just right here, so that our community knows that we're here for them.
And for 40 years.
For 40 years.
Now, I know we've talked about this before, but how did this all start 40 years ago?
So 1982, right? In July, it started in a home just in Logan, and it was for respite crisis care that could be provided in those situations where people were in need, and where were they going to turn in need, and especially if it didn't involve law enforcement. And that was the humble beginnings from someone's very small home, but huge heart, and it's just built. And there's been so many people that have helped build the family place to where it is today. So here we are 40 years later, but on the shoulders of giants, really, that in the community have been there. And like you said, those families that have been helped, not only do they receive what they need at the time, but we find that when they are able, find a way to give back, so that the family place can continue being there for other people. And they do it in very small personal ways, and also in larger ways that we might hear about, but we don't always hear about the smaller, more personal ways that they give back.
That is, and that is, we've run into this as we've done these episodes through the year too. There are some aspects of the work done at these in multiple locations, north, south here in Cache Valley, as you mentioned, Franklin County, Rich County. A lot of the work going on there is fun, and we can just talk about it in great detail. Some of the other work that is going on there is critical. I would dare say life-saving, and definitely life-changing, especially for children. But it's not something we can just, say, well, here's what happened. Because some of this may tie to news stories. Some of this may tie to things that get around the gossip grapevine in communities. But at the end of the day, the family place is there for the kids, for the parents to say, we can help you out of this situation in various ways. And again, that's through counseling services, through one of my favorite services, honestly. And for a lot of folks, especially those without kids, this probably sounds trivial. And I think of my mom when I was young with just 2 kids. But some of the days she would have that I have a memory of as we were trying to get things done, and she was dragging us along with her, and we had dentist appointments and swimming lessons and all these things. There's a service at the family place where, by arrangement, folks can bring their kids by and say, hey, for my wife and I, or my husband and I, we want to go out to a movie tonight, or we just need to take one of the kids to a dentist appointment. Can we leave the other 2 here? And by arrangement, for a couple of hours, whatever it might be, you can drop them off. There's games, there's a playroom, there's licensed licensed professionals and trained volunteers, a safe space. That to me sounds so critical to so many parents.
Yes, it really is. And when we talk to parents and we tell them about that service that we can provide, and that's through our kids' place, oftentimes we lean on the side for what it can do to help the parents. And I like to remind them that oftentimes the children need a break from them. They need to be in a space that's safe and nurturing, but so that they can socialize with other children just for a short period of time. But like you said, when they come to us, we nurture them, but we also educate those children on their energy, for example. We talk to them about where's their energy level at? Are they comfortable or uncomfortable with that? I know you probably talked to our Kids Place director about this. And it's really incredible because, as you know, children are sponges. So they pick up on these things, and we find that they go back and they teach their families about it. And that's really, really cool. So, yes, while they're there and they're playing and they're being children, and we have beautiful outdoor settings for them as well that are secured. And all year long, they don't care how cold it is. They're out there, and our amazing staff will go out with them as well and bundle them all up. And and be able to do all these activities with them, but we're teaching them at the same time. So while we do intervention that you described, that's so essential, we really love that from a strength-based perspective, we provide preventative tools for them as well, starting with our children.
That is interesting.
So we have many services like that. I know with our education department, when they spoke to you, our director for education, we have our Kids Empowered program. That's that body safety program where it's abuse prevention for children, and
which is a known prevention tool, right?
Absolutely.
We know that works.
Yes, and we go into the schools, the elementary schools. We offer it kindergarten through 6th grade, and that's something that we provide to the whole community and through the schools that we go in and teach that at their level, developmentally appropriate. Vocabulary is where they can understand the content. Again, they take that back into the homes, and then they're able to have conversations with their parents, and the adults, the caregivers, are invited to even attend those classes. So we have so many amazing things available, and you also mentioned our therapy. Yeah. I know with our clinical director, when we talk about what we can offer, and like you said, we specialize with families and children. So that's incredible that we can be at any stage for them. And
especially operating as a nonprofit.
Yes.
Because I know trained clinicians have to be paid.
Yes.
And yet operating, and we should mention this as well, as we're talking about ways the community can give back. This year, you lost 2 longtime benefactors, and previous to that. So this year, Belva Hansen and Junior Miller passed away just this summer. And previous to that, Norma Miller, who actually the building in Hiram is named after.
That's her namesake. Mm-hmm.
And that was a big deal. These are folks who have supported the family place generously, and also through their own promotion for years.
Yes.
But yet you're still up and running. You still have, and that implies, the community is aware you're there, and they're supportive. But there's always room for more, right?
Yes. And with that, Junior and Belva, both incredible, honored individuals. I mean, they're just exemplary in what they've done for the community, and definitely for the family place and their families as well, that have been and continue to be so supportive of that. But they've left a legacy, right, that inspires and motivates other people, like you said, in the community. And oftentimes people will say, well, I don't have that amount of money that I really think could make a difference. And for us, any level makes a difference. And it's not all about the money. It's about, can they volunteer and give their time? I mean, time is invaluable, as we all know, to any person. And then also their talent, right? Their resources. I was thanking you before the show that this is a way that you have donated to the family place all year long.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
And through the Cache Valley Media Group, it's been amazing to be able to have that, build that awareness, and let the community know what we do. And so we really do look at all of those areas as our donors, and how grateful we are. More than that, our support. That's that foundation that has kept us here for 40 years and 40 years more, because families and children will need those essential services. And we're so grateful that we do have that support. We've talked about our other nonprofit partners that we've had, all of that coming together for the community. It is inspiring to me, and especially this time of year. People's hearts seem to be in that mode of giving in personal ways, those small and personal ways. So we love that. We love being able to provide ways that we can have them give a gift to us all year long. So we were talking about our end of year giving campaign and what we're doing. We have partnered and support other organizations that their sole mission is for toys or gifts during the holidays that families need, and that takes a great load off of their mind. And we wanted to find a way that we could provide our unique services all year long for those very same families and others. So we have all these great things. You mentioned our Starfish Giving Machine.
I love it.
Which is so much fun.
There's something so fun about that.
It's interactive. It's at Logan Regional Medical Center, right? The hospital there.
Yeah, a physical vending machine.
Yes, and it's beautiful. I brought you a picture, so you've seen it on our website. But there's,
very cool.
It's beautiful. And it has our Starfish story, which all goes back to making a difference for the one. Love the Starfish story. Just one person at a time that you can make a difference. So what's so wonderful as I tell you about these different opportunities that people have is that we have a generous family of donors, anonymously, that have offered a donor match up to $100,000.
Wow.
Through December 31st. It began November 1st. So any donations received during that time are matched dollar for dollar.
So if you raise $100,000, they'll match that.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that incredible? And that's how they can give. So when we're talking about the $1 or the $5, which are amounts in our giving machine, by the way, or online, we have our online giving machine.
Sure.
It gets doubled. So you can pick
It's
something
very
that is
cool.
meaningful to you. If it's Kids Place art supplies, if it's something, I brought a couple cards. We have like a 24-hour information and resource referral hotline, which we'll talk about later, how anybody can call. Well, that can get supported. This one's for $10. It has an amazing piece of art created by one of our kiddos on the front. I'm thinking that's a fish jumping out of water.
Oh, yeah.
I love the interpretation. Can you see that? And then it has what
very
the
cool.
description is. The amount on the back is an inspirational quote. I'd love to share this. Eleanor Roosevelt. Since you get more joy out of giving joy to others, you should put a good deal of thought into the happiness that you are able to give.
It's very
Isn't that
cool.
great? And then
I
it
love
has
that.
a Venmo code.
And the art done by a young
I know.
person. That
And then
is
it
so
becomes
cool.
your receipt because we've got all of our legal accounting jargon on there, which is great. And so you can
Very
get this as a
nice.
gift to us, but then you can pay it forward.
Actually have that is very cool.
Bookmark, remind you of all the goodness that you've done with that.
That
We
is
also
amazing.
have same concept, but if you as a business or an organization want to host a Starfish giving tree,
Sure.
the exact same cards that are in the giving machine, you can put on however you're displaying your holiday decorations, a tree, a swag. We have people that have stuck them to windows in the form of a tree or made some
wow.
other kind of symbol with them. And they're the exact same cards. So people can come in, they can choose what they'd like to take, Venmo right there on the spot. And we have listed all of those businesses on our website. Our goal for our Here's to 40 Years anniversary was 140 giving trees in the community. And just today, we,
Wow.
in those 3 counties, have met 140 trees. But we want more now that we've hit that goal.
Sure.
So if you're interested, you just have to reach out to the family place, and we can get you one of those kits. And all you
Very
agree to
cool.
do is to host it.
That's so a way you can support,
Yes.
even with very little time and even very little money. That is very cool stuff. And for listeners, please check this out. You can visit the physical vending machine. You can also see the virtual vending machine online. That's my preference.
Yes.
I'm usually looking. In fact, so we would do these interviews throughout the year, and then invariably that day, I'm not sure how many at this point, but I've bought so many Black Lab stuffed animals. and for me, honestly, Jennifer, the idea that there is a child out there.
Yes.
I'm cognizant of my privilege. I was very lucky in so many ways as a child growing up and even throughout adulthood. And I think of children not as lucky as me, children in situations that are not at all within their control.
Right.
And there are ways out for them, but it may require some help temporarily or ongoing. And the idea that I can, through a $20 donation, buy a stuffed Black Lab dog puppy for one of these children to snuggle while they're trying to get some sleep, maybe after a stressful night or day. There's something so fulfilling about that. And for listeners, there are so many options here. You can fill the tank on the Family Place van. You can buy, as Jennifer mentioned, art supplies. And all of this, again, matched
Yes,
up
matched,
to $100,000
doubled. So
to the end of the month.
You offer the one, and it gets doubled.
That is very
Yeah,
cool.
the amount gets doubled, which is incredible. And like you said, there's something for everyone.
Yeah, you
So
can
that
buy basketballs
Yeah.
for the playroom.
So you can give a gift all year long. And I know right now on our website as well, we have sensory kits that we're doing through supply drives.
Interesting.
So for that energy modulation we were talking about, right? Teaching the kids about that. So if you just want to purchase Play-Doh or paper towels for our kids' place,
I
you
see
can
this.
get those.
A $10 donation, you buy a set of Play-Doh for the kids.
And you can just drop it off. If you purchase it online, you can. But if you really want to go buy it for those kits, or you want to do a supply drive, you can get in touch with us. But at our Logan location, for those items, we have a wish list item on there, like a
Okay.
list of wish list items that we would like. And so if that speaks to you and you want to know exactly what you're giving, there's something for everyone that you can be able to give.
Cool.
And we love it. We love being able to meet with people and thank them face to face for what they're doing.
That is very cool. This is, Again, the Holiday Giving Campaign runs until December 31st, and a generous donor has agreed to match up to $100,000 worth of donations. So if they're able to raise $100,000 throughout December, a donor will match that, leaving them with quite a bit to offer services throughout the year. Before we go to the news, let me just kind of detail some of these. We'll talk more about them. In fact, Jennifer has brought in some stories of families that have been helped by the Family Place over the years, something we haven't spent a lot of time on throughout the year, even as we have done this once a month. But just to give everybody an idea of what your donations go to support, crisis care, which is immediate child care provided by professional caregivers and licensed in the event of an emergency. And this can be, I know you guys have helped families that have had their home burned down.
Yes.
You've helped families that have had, one story I remember involved a relative, and it was no longer safe for the children to be there because the relative was, and you were able to put them in safe places, help them navigate this situation. And we don't think about that. When you see the news story about a home catching fire and burning down, we all agree it's tragic, but we don't think of the whole family that then has to go through what comes next, right? And that's where crisis care through the Family Place can come in. They operate a 24/7 crisis support line, which, by the way, is 752-8880. That's also where you can find more information by phone. Yep. The Starfish Children's Center that we've talked about a little bit here, which includes the kids' place, playing options, but also some very critical in many situations, therapy services, counseling services, and also for the parents as well, right?
Exactly. And then the shelter, which the kids' place, then we have that Starfish Children's Shelter, and that is when law enforcement is involved.
That is.
So if a child's removed from the home, where do they go?
That's right. We never. That's another aspect of this. We may see the news story.
Yes.
We never think about, there are now children that need a place to sleep that night, and for their own safety can't sleep at home. The Family Place steps in that kind of a scenario. And I remember this when we spoke with, I don't remember if it was Krista or who earlier in the year. We talked about the Starfish Shelter. Yes. And I didn't know this, but it's been designed to intentionally feel very home-like.
Absolutely.
This isn't a clinical setting. This is a, hey, welcome to this home for the night. Yes. Talk about that a little bit. There's a reason for that, right?
Absolutely. Well, it helps them with the fact that whatever situation they were in was not good for them, and that was traumatic. But if that's all that they know, that's still all they know. That's their home.
Sure.
When they're removed from the home, that's a trauma.
Things like lamps and TVs.
Exactly. And when they're removed from the home, that's traumatic as well. So if we can bring them into our children's shelter, that, like you said, environmentally is set up like a welcoming, warm, nurturing home, then our amazing staff that you mentioned, and it's Krista Useche is our Kids Place director, and she heads this up and really is the inspiration behind it as well with her team. They're trained to know how to nurture and love and care for that child in a way that is trauma sensitive, and also trained to know how to deal with the situations that will inevitably come up when they want to go back to their home that they can't go back to, and how to handle that and how to help comfort that child. And then, like you mentioned, then we have our therapists, which are also amazing, that can help them while they're with us. And we can have them for up to 28 days in the shelter. And they're able to be with us while the adults figure out all the things that they need to figure out and make sure that child is protected. And that family can be strengthened in whatever way that needs to happen. So that's our mission. And
that is amazing.
And that's the privilege of being able to be a part of the Family Place.
That is, and again, for listeners, all of this comes with a cost. Mm-hmm. We'd all like to live in a world in which an organization like the Family Place was completely unnecessary.
Right.
We don't. That's the sad reality. And so this is a selection of services and options provided by the Family Place that are not, there's no contemporary, right? There's not a, so that's how critical these services are. And again, for listeners, we're speaking today on what will be the final episode of our helping them celebrate 40 years throughout this year here on the show once a month in Cache, Rich, and Franklin counties, with 3 locations here in Cache County. You have the northern location in Smithfield. You have the Logan location and then one out in Hiram. But let me, before we go to the news, leave everybody with just a few statistics here to let this really settle in as you consider a donation of your money or time to the family place, which again will be matched up to $100,000 until the end of the year by a generous donor. You can make donations, find out more at thefamilyplaceutah.org. But just a few statistics to leave you with, and we'll continue on the other side with excuse me, Owen said he is the assistant director of the family place. Surprise cough there. These will blow your mind. So the family place, and again, 40 years in Cache, Rich, and Franklin counties, more than 1,200 clients in Logan, more than 800 clients just in Hiram at that Hiram location, 465 clients at what is a very new location in Smithfield. Just to give you an idea of the families and the number of children they're helping out there. TheFamilyPlaceUtah.org. Jennifer Anderson, our guest here in the studio, and we'll keep the conversation going right after this quick look at the news with KVNU's Bill Walter.
Thank you, Jason. KVNU News Time is 5:35. The news is brought to you by Northern Steel Buildings. Logan High Theater just presented the Broadway musical Big Fish in an ambitious project that's described as a heartfelt, powerful, and truly magical story about fathers, sons, and the stories that people use to define their identities. On KVNU's For the People program on Tuesday, faculty member Jared Rounds talked about why he wanted to do the musical.
Well, I have wanted to do it for a couple of years. This is my fourth year teaching at Logan High, and Big Fish has always been one that I wanted to do, and I choose it a couple of things. Like, I have a list of shows that I want to do personally,
Sure.
and then I look at my talent pool and have to kind of go with that. Like, I would never pick Fiddler on the Roof if I know I didn't have a Tevye.
Two of the student stars of Big Fish were also in studio. Gage Merrill said it was challenging to play his character in different phases of life.
Like, especially as playing Edward Bloom, having to be able to navigate around, like, I'm young in one scene and then immediately I'm old and then I'm back to, like, teenage years. It was so hard to be able to, like, show that development and growth and how the character moves through his life. And on top of that, like, once he gets to his final moments and he's, like, starting to die and have to say goodbye to his family, it's a really touching moment.
And Devin Taylor said likewise it was a challenge because his character was quite different from him.
So taking all the emotion that he's feeling, and he gets frustrated with his dad, and he gets bugged by his dad's stories, and he just doesn't really want anything to do with his dad. Jared would always tell me, be mad, Devin, get angry during a certain scene, and I personally don't have, like, I'm not angry that often, I don't get mad that often. And
as far as future productions this school year, Rounds said in March is a regular play. They will present the suspenseful Wait Until Dark. And then in late April, early May, towards the end of the school year, they'll put on the musical The Drowsy Chaperone. A retired longtime police captain whose ties to a white supremacist group have prompted an in-depth investigation of potential racism at the Boise Police Department filed a discrimination complaint against the city in November. The Idaho Statesman reports Matthew Bringleson, who oversaw the patrol division and retired in August, alleges age and disability discrimination in a complaint filed with the Utah Human Rights Commission and the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. The complaint was filed November 8th, less than 2 weeks before Bringleson's racist ties became public. And the Granite School District is set to close 3 elementary schools at the end of the school year. Granite District spokesperson Ben Horsley said the student population is diminishing, the district losing around 8,000 students in the last decade and 1,200 in the past year alone. Horsley said the district will work to place the teachers at the schools in openings throughout the district, but they will also need to hire additional teachers. KVNU News Time is 5:39.
We might all agree that a vacation to Vegas is good, but Hawaii is better. Same thing when you're building. Wood is good, but metal is better. If you're considering a new building for your farm or business, let Northern Steel Building show you the benefits of metal. Metal is stronger with little or no maintenance, and it doesn't burn. Find out how affordable a metal building really is by visiting northernsteelbuilding.com. That's northernsteelbuilding.com, or call 435-677-7300.
KVNU weather for tonight, cloudy skies, down around 15 for the overnight low. Snow in the forecast for Friday, but this isn't a big storm, a quick mover, and about 1 inch accumulation on the valley floor, 3 to 6 in the mountains. There is a winter weather advisory for the mountain areas all day tomorrow till about 4 p.m. Tomorrow afternoon. Could impact travel in Sardine Canyon and Logan Canyon. Today's high has been 30. Right now it's 24 at KVNU. KVNU weather brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Get prepared for cold and snow. Save up to $16 on a pair of Rain-X wiper blades, or take $10 instant rebate on a set of Napa Exact Fit wiper blades at your 5 locally owned Preston to Providence Napa Auto Parts stores. For more details on these and other stories, visit CashValleyDaily.com.
Not sure what to give for a holiday gift for family or employees? How about a gift card to Beehive Pub and Grill? Receive a voucher for a free gelato with a $25 gift card purchase, or a voucher for a free burger or sandwich of your choice with a $50 gift card purchase. Take care of your coworkers, employees, and family with a gift card from Beehive Pub and Grill. Open 11 to 8:30 weekdays and 11 to 9 Friday and Saturday. Beehive Pub and Grill is perfect for the holidays.
Several families who need help this holiday season have been nominated by trusted individuals. Some of them need winter clothes, others would like toys or music, and others simply need basic necessities. The Cache Valley Media Group is sponsoring Cares for Christmas. Visit caresforchristmas.org to see what these families need, then drop off your donations to 810 West, 200 North in Logan. Thank you for helping these deserving families, and thanks for caring this Christmas.
There's just so many sounds that make the holidays great. The laughter and the warm conversations held with family and friends. Kids softly giggle in the background as we gather at Grandma's house on Christmas Eve. Don't miss a moment of this holiday season. Come into Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology to receive a free hearing exam. Dr. Daines has years of experience and expertise, so give him a call at 435-753-4327. That's 753-HEAR, and have a Merry Christmas season and Happy Holidays.
I'm Larry Gelwicks, the Getaway Guru. Join me on The Travel Show every Saturday at 11 a.m., and I'll tell you where to go and how to get there with the best travel deals on the planet, including how to travel more and pay less, free this and free that promotions, and insider secrets on what the airlines, cruise lines, and hotels don't want you to know, along with your call-in travel questions. Every Saturday, 11 a.m., right here on News Talk 610 KVNU.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. It's a real honor on the show today. No offense to Charlie from Hour 1, but I get to see him every week and every day in the newsroom as I walk past. But it's an honor to cap off what has been, for me, a very enlightening and engaging 12-month series here on the show. We've been helping the Family Place celebrate their 40th year this year. We started in January.
Yep.
And every month we've checked in with them and talked about a different service they provide, a different way the community can help support them in their work. And again, the Family Place for 40 years in Cache, Rich, and Franklin counties through now 3 permanent location buildings, but also work they do in the classrooms, work they do in sort of, for lack of a better phrase, pop-up events in Rich County and Franklin and things like that. They're serving thousands of children. And we're talking each and every year,
yes,
not for 40 years, thousands of children every year for 40 years. They offer, just to run through some of these things quickly again, 24/7 crisis support line, crisis care for children coming out of or currently in a traumatic situation. They offer training in classrooms that offer coping skills and even safety tips to keep a child safe or help them keep themselves safe from some of the things that might pop up in a child's life. The Starfish Children's Center, as you said, Jennifer, this is when a situation where law enforcement is involved and those children are not, for their own safety, able to stay at home.
Right. The
Children's Starfish Center shelter is there for that. And again, all of this depends on community support. There are a couple of different ways you can donate before we get back into it here. Jennifer Anderson, the Associate Director of the Family Place, our guest here, and she has some stories from people who have been helped by the Family Place that we'll talk about here now. But before we get to that, ways you can help. There are physical vending machines throughout the valley. You can be a part of the Starfish Giving Machines. They're very fun. There is also a virtual Starfish Giving Machine where you can see exactly what your donation is going towards. You can choose. You can buy art supplies, basketballs. You can fill the Family Place van's gas tank for a day. You can buy equine therapy classes. You can buy, I love this, Play-Doh, because this is actually used in a therapy setting, right?
Yes, or in our kids' place with their sensory kits that they work with the kids.
Very cool.
Who doesn't love Play-Doh?
That's right. That is sort of, you can buy office supplies. You can buy all kinds of different things. You can even sponsor a Princess Party scholarship with a $20 donation. And every donation made between now and December 31st will be matched up to $100,000 thanks to a generous donor here in the Valley. You can also donate on Venmo. I didn't mention that before. I should throw that really quick. It's Family-Place, right? Do I have that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I see.
Yeah, easy. All these ways. And then the Starfish Giving Trees that we talked about, those are located right now. We have 140 businesses and organizations.
So cool.
We're saying
Throughout
thank you
valley.
to Yes, we're saying thank you to them on our website, so you can check that out where they're listed there. And you can go visit. This is the way of being able to give locally, but also to shop locally, to support our community that way and give back that way. So we're just helping each other, and we want all of these organizations to know how grateful we are. So if you want to host, anyone wants to host a Giving Tree Kit, you're just committing to displaying it and letting the people that come in, they get to choose what they donate, how much they donate, and again, match dollar for dollar through December 31st. And they get a really cool card and the artworks by our kiddos. And
that's amazing to me.
Don't you love that?
These cards that you get as a receipt of your donation from the physical vending machine, the art has been designed by children.
Yes.
And that is so cool.
Here's one. This is one of my favorite for our greatest need. And this picture right here is so beautiful by one of the kids that were in our kids' place. And they titled it even, and it's called The Broken Sun.
That is amazing.
Right?
Have you ever thought of selling the art?
Right? That's what I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I would hang the Broken Sun in my home. It's just...
And I know that in some situations it wouldn't be an option, but I'd love to know the artist's name so I could watch for them in the future.
Right?
That is good.
Well, and for them to be able to utilize
Talented.
that, and that's how they're giving back as well, because they're using their artwork as a way to either heal or express themselves, and that we talked about energy modulation, right? That being able to draw, that's been helpful to them, and then they turn around and they give that to us so that we can make other people aware in the community what we're doing, which we love.
That is amazing.
I told you earlier, this year we were recognized by Best of Northern Utah as a Gold Award for Best Nonprofit Organization, and also Best Place to Volunteer. So when we talk about how you can give to the Family Place all year long, one of those ways is to volunteer, and then your time.
That is amazing.
So invaluable to us.
That is, Honestly, just so many reasons to support the work they do. And by the way, if you want to know more about their community impact, they do actually have this on their website at thefamilyplaceutah.org. You can see, where the money goes. I know a lot of people, before they donate, want to see that. And I can tell you this is one of the most efficiently run nonprofits here in the Valley. And the Family Place and CAPSA, by the way, both organizations consistently win recognition for that, which speaks to that 40 years of longevity, right?
Yes, and our partnership. We love to partner with them because we do have just a little bit of overlap in what we do, but we do have unique missions, but we support each other and other nonprofits, like you mentioned, so that we really can give the community a wraparound service.
Yeah.
So if we don't provide it, boy, we sure have strong referrals and connections to other organizations that do, and we do that for each other.
That is amazing. And again, the work that is done from critical, even life-saving counseling and therapy services to just giving parents a break for a date night to the kids' place, the playgrounds and things like that, situations that are far more serious where law enforcement is actually involved, giving kids a place to stay at the shelter. And we're just, this is the tip of the iceberg. We've learned that over the last year. Family-Place on Venmo again. You can make a donation at thefamilyplaceutah.org. You can watch for these business-sponsored Starfish giving trees throughout the community. Find the physical vending machine at the, you said this
Logan Regional Hospital.
Logan Regional Hospital. Oh, that's right in the...
yes, main lobby.
Main lobby there. I've seen that.
Yep, I was just there last night.
Very cool.
It's still looking great, and it was really fun. I love interacting with the machine as well.
It is a fun experience.
Yes.
And like you say, to get to see where your $20 went or where your $15 went is, I think, fulfilling as well for donors.
And then we're asking people, as part of another way that you can help spread the word of what we're doing in our mission and what we do is take a picture while you're doing this fun thing giving and then post it on social media. We will,
That's a good idea.
Put it on. We will find you. We'll be part of that with your Facebook. We would love that.
Cool.
And then it will just continue to show the community how connected we are with what we provide. Yeah, so we're encouraging people to do that as well.
If you do that, for listeners out there, if you do that, if you post anything on social media, please use the hashtag #TheFamilyPlace, and we'll watch for those here at the station, and we'll share some of those as well through our own social media channels. See if we can get some fun stories and photos going here.
Well, I'll tell you something fun that we're going to do. We're doing the 12 trees of giving. Yeah. So starting on December 12th, if you take a picture at one of these locations, the Starfish Giving Machine or one of the Starfish Giving trees or displays that are around, because they're not all trees, they might be a swag or taped to their glass as you walk in. If you take pictures, tag that, and have proof of doing that and sharing that.
Oh, wow.
Starting at 5, you can come in for a prize to our Logan location. You hit that 12, the 12 trees of giving. We have a really nice prize for you to be able to do that. Very cool. You're helping to give back. Again, it makes a difference to us that you would share that with your circle of influence and putting that word out of what we do, why we do it. And then, again, that gift all year long. We really love that.
That is amazing. And I love this idea, too. We live in a subscription age, right? We're all used to the Netflix subscription, the Amazon Prime. Well, this is a way you can basically subscribe to the Family Place, support them throughout the year.
I love that. And you can be a monthly donor if you really want a subscription. We would love monthly donors to be able to do that. And you sign up to be a monthly donor now. Again, that's matched in the month of December and November. So if you already are a monthly donor, but you're considering that, and again, at any amount, we can set that up, which is great. And then when you go to our website, we've talked about these interventive services that we offer, but we have preventative services. So just our education department alone has 13 different services. Wow. The majority of them are free. Kids Empowered, we talked about in the elementary schools that we offer for body safety for children, but in January, I'm going to tell you about a great class. I think it's been mentioned before, Smart Steps for Step Families. It's all 8 weeks. It's an 8-week course. It starts January 23rd on Monday nights, 5:45 p.m. to 8 p.m. You get childcare and dinner for free.
Really?
And the class for free. Where else are you going to go? No. Where else are you going? In a beautiful location in Logan. And And I think they might be moving some of the locations, so definitely check out the location on our website.
Sure.
But it's at one of our buildings, and with that, you get instruction on communications, how interaction tools, all preventative to be able to help you as a family that might be blended. And where else are you going to receive that in the community?
Yeah.
Where else would you go to even know where to receive that? So for you, for someone that you know, or if you have family or friends that are in that situation and you want to be a support to them, you are welcome to come to that class. So you personally don't have to be in a step family.
That is... Honestly, and these classes are free. They're also, coming up in January, they have the Strengthening the Couple Relationship class. I love this one. Now, this one you've done before, and we got some feedback from listeners on this that they said not only do they have fun, but they learned some great coping skills themselves. And one of the listeners said, I'm 52, and I learned something.
Yes.
It was an adult mental health first aid class.
Yes.
Those are coming up again in January, right?
Yes, and we have both for just the general mental health first aid, and then we have a mental health first aid for adolescents. It's not for the teenagers to attend, but the emphasis is for adolescents.
That is so
the
cool.
adults attending, if you have adolescents in your lives, again, that you want to know how to zero in to help them and to be aware of mental health tools, again, free, can sign up for it.
That is amazing.
It is amazing. And I have personally taken that class, and we're encouraged at the Family Place to participate in all of these classes. And so I can speak to them about just how beneficial they are and the things that I learned. And my whole adult life, I've been in this area. And wow,
that was
the information, incredible.
Honestly, such an amazing email to get from listeners. She said, I'm 52.
Mm-hmm.
I went into this and I came out feeling like I learned some new coping skills. And we have one more break to get to here. And on the other side, Jennifer's going to wrap everything up for us today with some personal stories, some testimonials from those who've actually been helped by the Family Place. The FamilyPlaceUtah.org, all donations matched up to $100,000 until December 31st. Please give them your time, give them some of your money if you can, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, I'm Celeste Edmonds, Director of the Christmas Box House. The Christmas Box is working with the Utah community to provide Christmas for nearly 2,800 at-risk children. If you have room to help a child, please contact us at thechristmasbox.org. Thank you and happy holidays.
Hi, this is Scott Howder. At Allen Mortuaries, we're mindful of the challenges and changes families who have lost loved ones experience during the holidays. We're also aware of the love, hope, and generosity of others. You are in our thoughts and prayers this holiday season, and we're also available to provide a measure of support whenever needed. We're always here to help. It's what we've been doing for over 80 years. Sincerely wishing you happy holidays from all of us at Allen Mortuaries. Then, now, always.
Happy holidays from Birch Creek Golf Course. For your golfer this Christmas, I invite you to visit birchcreekgolf.com. Birch Creek's online store offers punch passes that are on sale at the spring sale price, as well as driving range passes and discounted golf lessons from our PGA teaching staff. So for your golfer this Christmas, I invite you to visit birchcreekgolf.com and enjoy Birch Creek's virtual online store. And happy holidays from your friends at Birch Creek.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient as well as the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. We're going to jump right back in because time is short, and we want to wrap things up today with our guest, Jennifer Anderson of the Family Place, with some stories of people who have been helped, examples of those who have been helped over the last 40 years by the Family Place, and why you should consider a donation of your time or money, especially during this $100,000 match, which is, thanks to a generous donor, going until December 31st. Watch for the Starfish Giving machines. Visit thefamilyplaceutah.org and use the virtual giving machine there. And Jennifer, you wanted to wrap up today with Eleanor's story, right?
Yes. All right. So this is actually written by one of our Kids Place staff from their perspective because they actually witnessed it themselves. And also, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that while these experiences actually happened, we have made sure that out of confidentiality, we've changed identifying details.
Sure.
Just to protect the people that are involved, especially our sweet children. So,
absolutely.
So in their words, and this is making a difference to the one, a safe place for children. Eleanor, a 6-year-old, came into our Starfish Children's Shelter. After a couple of days, she was really sad because she missed her family and home. Another young girl, Anya, asked Eleanor while she was crying, and Eleanor told her she missed her parents and that they did bad things and were taken away by the cops. Anya validated her feelings and shared that she missed her mom too. Anya, incidentally, was also in our shelter. 2 different families, 2 different children that were in our shelter at the same time. Eleanor opened up to Anya about how her mom was hitting her, and Anya responded by saying, "Nobody will hit you here. You are safe at the family place." And that's a direct quote. They hugged each other and then played outside together, and Eleanor began feeling less emotional and more supported. So in their childhood, their childlike ways, they had a moment of comforting each other and making sure that they knew that they were safe.
That is amazing.
That's the best testimonial
Honestly.
from 2 children that we were serving at the same time.
That is... Jennifer, thank you for your time. And for listeners, you just heard that story. Please throw them a buck.